Andrew had consensual sex with Epstein employee. Explosive email reads: a newly released bombshell email exchange sees convicted pedophile Jeffrey Epstein discuss Andrew with New York Times reporter Landon Thomas Jr., and includes a claim that the former prince had consensual sex with an Epstein employee as pressure mounts on Andrew Mountbatten Windsor to testify over the Epstein files. A private email exchange has emerged talking about claims the former Duke of York had consensual sex with one of Jeffrey Epstein's employees. Last month, the 65-year-old was stripped of his titles following an unprecedented move by his elder brother, King Charles III, while all remaining official patronages and military appointments associated with the crown have been revoked. Andrew, who no longer uses the style His Royal Highness, has also been ordered to vacate Royal Lodge, relocating to a property on Norfolk's Sandringham estate. This upheaval follows years of controversy over Andrew's friendship with the late pedophile Epstein, who died by suicide in 2019. Most significantly, Andrew, who has vehemently denied any wrongdoing, was accused by Epstein whistleblower Virginia Giuffre of having sex with her on 3 separate occasions when she was a teenage trafficking victim. Andrew has always denied these allegations and, in his now infamous 2019 Newsnight interview with Emily Maitlis, declared, "I have no recollection of ever meeting this lady, none whatsoever." In her posthumous memoir Nobody's Girl, Virginia, who died by suicide in April of this year, reiterated her claims, writing, "He was friendly enough, but still entitled, as if he believed having sex with me was his birthright." This week, as U.S. lawmakers voted to release the Epstein files, passing by 427-1, an email exchange between Epstein and a former New York Times reporter, Landon Thomas Jr., which discusses Andrew, has drawn attention. As reported by The Telegraph, in January 2015, disgraced financier Epstein wrote to Thomas Jr. suggesting Thotha could be exonerated over claims that he has trafficked young women for sex by an ex-girlfriend, who had traveled with him. By this point, Epstein's former life rubbing shoulders with global elite shod well and truly crumbled. In 2008, he had pleaded guilty to state charges of solicitation of prostitution as well as solicitation of prostitution with a person under the age of 18. At the time of this email exchange, the pedophile was 4 years away from his second arrest, this time facing federal charges for the sex trafficking of minors in both Florida and New York. Offering his advice to Epstein at the time, Thomas Jr. wrote, "I think the big issue is separating yourself from Andrew. I mean, I can see why a statement might help in some way, but it's Andrew, not Clinton and the rest, that is keeping the story alive." In his email to Epstein, which appears to point towards a close relationship between the pair, Thomas Jr. continued, "Until you are able to come forward and address that, the story lives on. I mean, in the end, he had consensual sex with redacted. And redacted worked for you. The rest is atmospherics. You have moved on. People don't know that and can't accept that unless you say as much." When contacted by the publication for comment, Thomas Jr. claimed Epstein hadn't told him the employee had sex with Andrew, clarifying that he was repeating what had seen in the news. He explained, "He never told me that she had sex with Andrew. When I say that he had sex with her, consensual sex, that's just what I had read in the press." Last week, President Donald Trump called for the Justice Department and the FBI to investigate Jeffrey Epstein's involvement and relationship with Bill Clinton. However, no Epstein survivor or associate has ever made any public allegations against the former president, who has denied having knowledge of the serious crimes committed by Epstein. After the House Oversight Committee last week published thousands of documents from Epstein's estate, including emails he'd sent and received, a spokesperson for the Clinton Foundation told ABC News, "These emails prove Bill Clinton did nothing and knew nothing. The rest is noise meant to distract from election losses, backfiring shutdowns, and who knows what else." This comes as officials remark that the U.S. could learn from King Charles and the UK's urgency in taking away Andrew's titles, and sacking Peter Mandelson, the former UK ambassador to Washington. Speaking outside the Capitol building alongside Republican Representative Thomas Massie, Democratic Rep. R. O'Connor warned Andrew could now be dragged before the House of Congress to give testimony. He said, "I do think that Prince Andrew does need to come and testify at our Oversight Committee, and that can be bipartisan. But I share Massey's view that the urgency that the British people have shown in getting justice needs to inspire an urgency here in America." Today, November 20th, marks the formal deadline for Andrew to respond to a letter sent by Representative Robert Garcia of Congress House Oversight Committee, who has requested the royal partake in a transcribed interview regarding his established relationship with Epstein. This letter concludes, "Due to the urgency and gravity of this matter, we ask that you provide a response to the committee's interest by November 20, 2025. The Committee on Oversight and Government Reform is the principal oversight committee of the House of Representatives and has broad authority to investigate any matter at any time under House Rule X.